Hey class, and welcome to ALTX. Today we have a great interview set up with a fellow teacher and YouTuber named Oz. So, let's begin.
Hello, my name is Oz, and if you're watching this video, it means I'm either captured or I've been killed. I'd like to explain in this video why I decided to join ICE.
Oh my gosh. Make sure no one sees this.
Hey guys, it's Oz, and I'm on Austin's channel today. He decided to interview me, so I get to be on his channel. Thank you very much. He asked me to talk about my experiences in Japan. So before I talk about that, let me tell you about my history. So I'm from Toronto, Canada. I went to university, York University, and I have a degree, it's a double degree in communications and English literature. I did not know what I wanted to do after I finished university. I started working at an advertising agency. I didn't really like it so much, so I decided I needed to get away from Canada, and that's when I met someone who recommended that I go to Japan to teach English. So originally I didn't know anything about Japan or Japanese culture. I just applied to a whole bunch of different companies. I ended up getting an interview and accepted with a company called Ion Eikaiwa, and they put me in Nagoya. At that time I didn't even know where that was, but they said it's kind of in the center of Japan, so I thought, why not? Sounds like a good place. So yeah, without any teaching experience or even knowing what I wanted to do, I decided I would come to Japan for a year, do some of that Eikaiwa thing, and then see how it went from there and probably come back. I thought it would be a good way to kind of see somewhere other than Toronto. I wanted to experience a different culture, but at the same time make some money as well so I could pay off my student loan. So yeah, I stayed in Nagoya. I loved my first year. I was teaching adults at Ion, mostly office ladies and salarymen. I was right in the center of the Nagoya city, an area called Sakai. So there's a lot of nightlife there as well, a lot of parties, clubs. I met a lot of Japanese people, I met a lot of foreign people, and it was overall an awesome 1 year, and I decided to extend. I ended up staying for about 3 or 4 years, and I actually met a Japanese girl. I got married. So we decided to go back because my wife had never been outside of Japan and she kind of wanted to live in a foreign country, and since I had not used my communications degree stuff at all, I thought maybe I'll try to get back into my field. In Toronto I worked at a TV station called City TV. I worked there for about 3 or 4 years. It was okay, the money was good, but I didn't really like it, and I was missing Japan a lot. So that's when I decided to join the JET program. I applied for JET and I got placed in Hokkaido. I worked as an ALT in public schools and a junior high school. I was there for about 2 years. I really liked it, except that Hokkaido is really cold and snows a lot in the winter. But since I'm from Canada, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was interesting, but it was a really small town, and there's only about 3 or 4 people, non-Japanese people living there. So it was very secluded. And in the end, I decided it'd be better for me to leave Hokkaido. And on a personal note, I actually decided to get divorced, and my ex-wife, decided to go back to Nagoya, to her hometown, and I decided to move to Chiba. In Chiba, I contacted the company that I used to work for in Nagoya with kindergartens, because I really did like that job, and I decided to continue with that company. So I've been there now for 4 years now, teaching kindergartens around Chiba area and Tokyo. So in Japan, I've done the Eikaiwa kind of job, I've done ALT job, and I've done kindergarten. To tell you the truth, there's good things and bad things about each one. With ALT, I like the fact that it was like a real school experience with the Japanese English teacher and students, and I could see the Japanese school life. The negative was because I was in a secluded area and there wasn't that many students, I didn't have many classes, and I was sitting around bored maybe 75% of the time there. So that was kind of one thing I didn't really like about it. In terms of Eikaiwa, I like the fact that everyone there is adults, so they're really into English, and they also have really interesting, fun personalities and jobs. So I got to know a lot of people, I made a lot of good friends and connections. The negative thing was it's really long hours. I would finish at 9 or 10 at night, and I taught about 8 or 9 classes in a day, so I had, opposite of ALT, I had very little free time to just relax. And yeah, the Eikaiwa thing just gets kind of old after a few years. And with the kindergartens, I like that I move around a lot. I get to go to a new school and see new kids all the time. I'm not like stuck in a teacher's room at all. I have a lot of fun, games, interesting, kids are cute, and it's a very high energy job, so it's also good kind of for my health. So overall, I like the kindergarten job, but at the same time, I'm getting older, and yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher because it is like a intense job. You just got to be running around all the time, and kids are always like 100% high energy, so you got to keep that energy the whole day, and that gets tough every day, especially in the summer. So there you go, that's the history of me and what I've been doing in Japan. I was asked to talk about some good and bad experiences. So in terms of good experiences in Japan, I've got to see a lot of interesting places. I've been to Kyoto and Osaka and Nara and Kyushu and Hokkaido. I was also lucky enough to be on a TV show called Tokoro-san no Nippon no Deban, which I was in about 5 or 6 episodes, and each episode I got to go to a different location around Japan and report on kind of like a travel blog, video blogger kind of thing. Also, another good experience is in Hokkaido. I met a whole bunch of Japanese people who were like in a rock band, and they needed a vocalist, and yeah, I decided to join a rock band, and we toured a little bit around Hokkaido, and we did some shows, and it was a really good experience. I'd never been in a band before, and I like singing, and it was my only chance other than karaoke. So yeah, I would say it was one of my, I guess, highlights of living in Japan. In terms of bad experiences, I mean, I've had like the things that most people have, like bad days in Japan that you would have anywhere where you live, but I haven't had any like extreme like Japan related bad days. Nothing too extreme in terms of like racism or like any kind of medical or like physical altercation or any kind of like serious emergency. I wasn't here for the big earthquake, and yeah, I haven't really experienced anything really bad. And in terms of racism, same thing. There's like little small things. I guess they're called microaggressions. Like when people don't sit beside you on the train, or they kind of like are scared to approach you because you don't look like they look. Yeah, I've not faced like extreme racism at all. It's more like little things here and there, and it's mostly because someone's either scared because they don't speak English, or they've never met somebody from another culture, so they don't know how to react. It's not like hatred, it's more like ignorance or just not knowing what to do. And some advice for newbies. Yeah, I guess I've been living in Japan on and off for like 7 or 8 years, so I guess I'm not a newbie anymore. For newbies, I would say document everything that excited you when you first get here. Keep a blog or a diary, or make a YouTube channel or something, and just record all the interesting new situations you come across when you first get to Japan. It'll be good when you look back if you're kind of feeling homesick, or if you're feeling culture shock, or you've been in Japan a really long time and you've kind of forgotten what it's like to be like a foreigner in Japan. You can look back at those videos and see how much you've grown, and also remember the things that impressed you when you first got here. Also, be very open-minded, whether it be with like food, if you're like vegetarian, or you have any specific diets, or just people or culture, like the way people dress or the way you talk and work, stuff like that. Everything's a little bit different. It's hard to know, it's hard to pick up because no one will directly tell you. If you're a newbie, one thing that's going to be hard for you is to read the atmosphere, the situation. I think in Japanese it's called like KY, kukiyomu, which means like read the air or read the atmosphere. That's going to be, I think, the hardest thing for you to figure out what people are thinking about you or what they want you to do. But don't let that bother you too much, because in the end you're a foreigner and they know that. So I think especially in the beginning, everyone's a lot more friendly and nicer to you, and they let things go. It's kind of like a free get out of jail card for you. Keep an open mind, don't worry if you mess things up too much, and just enjoy your time in Japan, whether you be here for like a week on vacation, a year for like backpacking, or for like working at an eikaiwa, or for like 20 years. And if you do end up living in Japan, if you do end up getting married to a Japanese person, that's going to be hard. It's a hard work whether you're anywhere in the world, even in your own country. Marriage and dating is tough. But it's even tougher when there's like a cultural difference and language difference. But as long as you work together, you communicate, I think everything will work out. I know a lot of friends who are married to Japanese men or Japanese women with kids and families, and they're having a great time in Japan, and they're really happy with their partners. It is possible to stay here, and even if you don't really like teaching English, but you want to stay here for family or love reasons, like Austin mentioned, then yeah, I think you can make it work. Japan is safe, it's a good atmosphere, the food is good, the people are friendly. There's no place like Utopia, but Japan is pretty good. If you enjoy the culture and you want to live here long term, it's definitely not impossible. So yeah, just follow your heart, do what you think is right, and while you're in Japan, enjoy your time. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Austin, for letting me be on your channel and for this interview opportunity. If you haven't seen my channel, please check it out. It's Ozzy Awesome. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere on the bottom. And yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and Austin's channel. Take care. See you someday on this channel or another one. Take care. Peace.
Alright guys, that's all the time we have for this interview. So I want to thank Oz for coming onto my channel and interviewing with me. This is actually the second time we did it. The first time I accidentally deleted the video. Sorry. So go ahead and check out, show some love to Oz and go to his channel and send him some messages from me. His channel is great, he has some really good videos. He's a really funny guy, so please go ahead and check him out. I'm always looking for new people to interview for ALTX, so if you or someone you know might be interested who's a foreigner living in Japan, I would love to hear about your experiences in Japan and put you on my channel. All my contact information is on my channel. Thanks a lot guys, have a great day, bye!